It is 5 o'clock somewhere, and you've tuned in to Season 3, Episode 21 of BRC. For those of you who'd like to watch this episode, I highly recommend it. You can view Season 3 on our website, YouTube, Spotify, WhiskeyNetwork.net, and Zencastr. I'm Carrie Moynihan, and today I'll bring you the second half of my coverage of the 2024 WSWA Conference in Las Vegas. I had the pleasure of speaking with Steve McPherson and his wife Tracy about Ignition Kentucky Bourbon and their unique bottling process. Then later in the show, I chat with co-founder of Hand Barrel Bourbon, Jim Hand, and finally, I do a little digging into Delta Dirt with Harvey Williams. So kick off your shoes, pour yourself a dram, and join me for this episode of Barrel Room Chronicles. On Season 2 of Barrel Room Chronicles, I embarked on an amazing journey through Ireland, from Cork to Belfast, and nearly everything in between. Now I'm going to do it all over again. But this time, you're invited. That's right, join me this spring for a trip of a lifetime through the rich tapestries of Irish whiskey culture. We'll visit iconic locations such as the Titanic Experience and the new Titanic Distillery, and tour through the lush Irish landscapes and visit filming locations from the hit TV series Game of Thrones. We'll also visit historic sites, including cathedrals, jails, castles, and more. Plus, we'll get to distill our very own batch of Clonakilty gin. To find out more or to book now, visit barrelroomchronicles.com and click on the Brock Tours photo. Steve, it is so nice to finally meet you. I saw this beautiful product on the website when I was looking at places to come for this show, and I saw the bottle and I thought, oh my God, that is like the most beautiful bottle I've ever seen. So I also am hoping that the whiskey is one of the most beautiful whiskeys I've ever tasted. But first, let's talk about the bottle and the creation and this beautiful, I believe, hand-painted?
Yeah, they're hand-painted and hand-etched. And the designer is Tracy, my wife, and she's unbelievably talented. And so you can see some of the kids behind us working on the bottles, and they're just really gifted. So, yeah, it's a very unique process. I know there's a lot of people that make hand-etched, hand-painted bottles that end up in distributors' back rooms and stuff like that, but our stuff is the stuff that ends up on their shelves in their house and also in their bars.
I love it. Okay, so tell me, what was the creation of the glass, so it's not, you don't make the glass, but you do the etching, right?
Yes, we order the bottles, and in this case, they have several different suppliers where they buy the bottles from, but we do the hand etching and the hand painting right at our offices in Temecula.
Okay, well, Temecula, California, that's my kind of hood, my hood. So tell me, how did you guys come up with the concept to make these etchings? Were you doing it for something else, or you just decided to start doing it for spirits, or what was the beginning?
Well, it's a very unique situation. We're in horse racing, and we had a beautiful horse a few years ago named Lazy Daisy, and two of our partners on that horse are very famous people, and so we made it to the Breeders' Cup, and we wanted to do something special for them. So we made a hand-etched, hand-painted bottle that was made by another company, and while it wasn't up to our standard, it was still pretty cool. And so while we were sitting there at the Breeders' Cup party, people were coming by, hey, where can we get that? Hey, can you guys make that for us? So that's how it started. And so from there till now, we've done several major sporting events in America, including the U.S. Open, the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness. We just got back from the Pegasus on Saturday down in Florida. So yeah, that's how it started. And about a year ago, maybe 8 months ago, we thought, why are we using other people's bourbon and other people's bottles? Why aren't we doing our own? So that's the inspiration behind Ignition. And today's the first day of launching our own bourbon company.
I love it. So, and then I see you have a Blanton's bottle here that you guys etch. So when you get these, you just buy them off the store and you take the label off and then start etching on with the whiskey inside and everything?
Well, typically, like in the case of Blanton's, they sponsored an event, and so we ended up etching the bottles for the event. So they were one of the sponsors of the event, so they provide a lot of bottles for us. But depending on what the event is, if we need to go buy it off the shelf, we will. But oftentimes the distributor or the actual bourbon company will partner with us. We've had this happen at Del Mar. We've had it happen in Miami. In Miami, they had several sponsors where they partnered with us on the bottles. So there's a number of different ways where we end up with the product that we etch, and then we do our thing.
That's great. Now, when you say hand etching, is it each one is designed by itself and hand done by itself, or do you have like a hand drawn something that you use once and it's kind of like a stamp?
Yeah, there's a film that they do the design. They do the design, and then after the design is done, they use the film to put on the bottle, and then they etch the bottle in a machine that has like arms on it where all the glass is coming off the glass as they hand etch it, goes up into a filter.
That's really cool. So I think it's time I taste this juice to see if it's as good as your etching.
Well, let's hope it is. We think people like it so far, and we proofed it down from 104 to 96 because we thought it had a softer feel to it, and it's pretty good bourbon. I think people like it.
And do you source it from somewhere, or do you make it yourself?
Well, we buy the barrels in Kentucky, but we partner with a distillery in Kentucky, and they sell us the barrels, and then we store the barrels and we bottle it in Kentucky.
That's fantastic. And then do you get to do you have your own mash bill, or did you buy a juice that you're partial to and say that's the one we want?
No, we tell them what it is. We tell them how much corn, how much rye, and they produce it accordingly.
That's fantastic. So how old is this already? Is this like just now 3 years old or what?
That bourbon's 6 years old.
Okay, so you guys have been working on this for a while then.
Well, I mean, when we bought several barrels, and when we tasted the bourbon, we thought that we just thought the proof was too high. So we took all the barrels, and there were 39 barrels, and we mixed them all together, and we proofed it all down.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's your own unique blend then.
It is our own unique blend, yeah.
Fantastic. All right, let me try this bad boy.
There you go. See what you think.
Oh, and I love this glass. You guys, can you see this glass? It's even the glass is etched. And a nice nose. Lovely. You got any rye in this?
Yes, there's some rye in there. There's listen, I'm going to ask the expert. Hey, how much rye? 28% rye.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I was going to say there's got to be at least 25 if I could taste it
but
that
it has
well.
a little bit. You can tell it has a little bit of like different types of flavors in it too, based on.
And the legs on this, I don't know if you can see that camera, but the legs on this are gorgeous, very oily, great mouthfeel.
Yeah, thank you. We're happy with it.
How did you come up with the name, Ignition?
It's so interesting. One of our guys from Orlando.
This is Tracy, who's behind
This
the
is the
beauty,
designer of all these products.
Yeah.
Hello.
So anyway, one of the guys that works for us from Australia came up with Ignition, and the reason we call it Ignition is because the tagline is ignite your passion.
I love it.
Yeah, so whether you have a new car or a new girlfriend or a new job or a new wife or a new boat, it fits for pretty much everybody in terms of doing something passionate and feeling passionate or whatever. So we feel like it's not only a fabulous name, but a great marketing tool too.
That's awesome. So how long have you had the glass etching business going, and how many events would you say you've done throughout this time before you started doing the bourbon?
I have no idea how many events we've done, but it's been a lot. But what I can tell you is that we've had the business for, 3.5 years?
We've probably done close to 250 events.
That's a lot,
Yeah.
especially post-COVID. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And then has there been a favorite bottle that you guys got to use besides your own for any of these events that you, or a most challenging one to print on?
I'm going to show you the most favorite one right now. I'll grab it. Go ahead.
And what about you? What do you think? What's been your favorite one to do?
Gosh, I'm so partial to ours that it's hard for me to say that, but probably Don Julio.
Oh, look at that. That's
This
nice.
to me is the coolest bottle we did. We did this for Formula One. So they shipped the bottles from, this is a duplicate we made, but they shipped the bottles to us from Italy, and we made a bunch of bottles for their people, and then we turned around and they gave them to whatever they did with them in Formula One to their executives and all that.
That is awesome. Here, now that she's let this one go, let's show that one up there. That one's looks like a little
This is a
horse
Kentucky
racing.
Yeah, it's a Kentucky Derby commemorative bottle with several of the Triple Crown winners. You see Justify there. That's not a Triple Crown winner, but a Derby winner in Silver Charm. This is the 150th anniversary. There's Victor
right
on American Pharaoh. Yeah, so
Yellow and
we got
gold.
a bunch of them right here.
Yellow and blue.
A bunch of famous horses. So
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love the bourbon. I think you guys have a great concept. Now, are you going to do any barrel picks that you would be able to have, like a company maybe do your logo on one side and then a company logo to somebody else on another side?
Yeah, we do that all the time. In fact, we already have orders for our Derby 150 bottles where there are companies that want their logo on the back of them.
But is it going to be with your bourbon or their bourbon?
Our bourbon.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, on your production line for the etching, like how many bottles can you do like in a run?
We can do about 1,200 a month right now, but we're scaling up for more.
And how many machines does it take to do that?
4. Yeah.
And then about how fast do they carve?
So some of our bottles take an hour, some of them take 3 hours, but that they don't just sit there and work on one all at once, because they run certain colors on certain days, and then there's always drying time.
How did you find out about machines that would do this for you?
So we actually, did you tell them about Lazy Daisy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just wanted a bottle that would celebrate our horse that we were just so excited about and wanted to share with everybody. And so we had her name and a horse etched on some wine bottles, and all of our partners went crazy. So we were
And then you just looked into what the best machinery was from there?
Yeah. Probably had seen it somewhere and just didn't really realize it.
Well, the big thing is, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but she just felt by looking at the design that it was rudimentary, and that with her design background that she could make them dramatically different, and it's turned out to be true. Like, some of the designs and the work she's done is remarkable. So
did you guys have other jobs before this business and you quit them or retired from them, or doing all of it at the same time?
Well, I still do have that other job. I run a small investment group. We invest in thoroughbred horses. We basically flip horses like real estate guys flip houses. We buy them as babies, get them ready, improve them, and then sell them. That's what we do. And then if they don't bring what we think they're worth at public auction, we buy them back and race them. So that's my little MO. And then she was a designer by trade, just doing basically high-end remodels for the Stars in Beverly Hills and in Bighorn and Palm Desert and places like that. So, yeah.
Well, great. Well, thank you guys for showing me all of your stuff and letting me taste your dram here. And I can't wait to see how things go for you in the future. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
We're here still at the WSWA, and I'm here with Jim Hand, who's got all these barrel bottles, which was appropriate for Barrel Room Chronicles. So, Jim, I wanted to talk to you and find out, how did this whole idea come up? How long have you guys been in business, and what are you guys trying to do here at WSWA?
So the idea came up, we had a passion for premium spirits, and we wanted to create something cool that people wanted to own and felt pride about owning. We came up with this decoration technology to be able to print on glass. We're sitting with Scott, co-founder, CEO, at breakfast, and he's like, "Look at this technology, isn't it cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's make some bottles that look like whiskey barrels and put whiskey in it." He was like, "Let's do it." So we raised some money, we found some partners. We work with Bourbon Company, vertically integrated there. When we launched November 22, so we're about 15 months in business. We did almost 6,000 cases last year across 18 states. Our big goal here at WSWA is to get some wider distribution in some of the big states with the biggest populations, like Texas, Florida, Illinois, maybe Colorado, New York, New Jersey, some of those states, because right now we're in a lot of smaller states, but we want to get to some of these bigger. We are in California, that's the one that we do have, but then we're looking to get into some of the other eastern big states.
So how many different varieties of whiskey do you have? Are they all different based on the barrel here, or?
So they're all the same mash bill. We have the brown bottle, which is our single barrel. We take our best barrels out, we bottle those, so it only comes from one barrel, and they're all labeled with what barrel and what bottle number out of the barrel. Flipping over to our flagship product, our small batch, it's a blend that we use from different parts of the rick house to come out. We look to blend for butterscotch and caramel type notes on the small batch. And then our double oak uses a similar formula, so to speak, from the barrel's spots. However, we dump these into new oak casks and let them sit for 8 more months, and then we bottle them again, so it completely changes the flavor profile. You get a lot of, the single barrels are all different. I like the ones that are more vanilla on the nose. Some of them are a little more fruit forward, which are also good. Butterscotch caramel, and then this one turns the butterscotch caramel into more of a molasses brown sugar type taste. All the same mash bill. 64% corn, 24% rye, 12% malted barley, and it's a sweet mash. And the camo bottle over here is our first limited edition. We did for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. So 10% of our proceeds go back to them. We used a different mash bill. We used Bardstown 781012 mash bill, 80%. 20% is our 64, 24, 12 sweet mash. So something a little bit different. We're openly a source brand. We make cool bottles. They all look different. So we're open to experimenting with different mash bills as well.
That's fantastic. And then what do we have over here? We have this black and we have a white and this what is all this?
Yeah. So these are all concepts. Because the decoration technology is so customizable, we just want to showcase some of the different things that we're able to do. Some of the fading in, fading out, custom bands in the middle, the black, the white, the chrome. It's a water-based ink that we put on those. And so showing any potential wholesalers and retailers some of the different things we can do, custom single barrels, custom logos for businesses. Whoever wants something that's different and cool, we just want to showcase that we can do that for them.
Okay, and then are you guys able to have me taste any of these here today?
Absolutely. So we'll start off here with our small batch. For you. I won't make you drink alone.
Oh, I can smell the vanilla here.
So butterscotch caramel on the nose, 105 proof. Everything we do is 105 proof. In our opinion, it's the perfect proof for bourbon. Not too hot where it burns you out, not too diluted where it won't stand up in a cocktail.
That's good.
So switching over, and I love doing these side to side, the double oak and the small batch, because it shows similar blend, same mash bill, same proof, but it pulls all these characteristics from the barrel, so it turns that butterscotch into more of a molasses brown sugar. And then popping over here, I'll pull out our single barrel. The single barrel is a little bit different. It doesn't have the same vanilla nose that some of them have, but it's still quite good. It's just a really classic bourbon taste on this one here.
And what's the proof? They're all, you said all 105?
All 105 proof. Yep.
I love that it's the original barrel-looking barrel. I think I like it.
It's our best seller across all of our markets. So this one, getting more like some fruit forward, like apple pie, cinnamon, some baking spice. Oh, this is our best seller for sure.
So far, I think this one's my favorite. And then the last one we're going to try is the camouflage one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So this one's going to be completely different. So because of the 78, 10, 12 mash bill paired with the 64, 24, 12, it's more corn forward. So if you taste, you can taste a lot of the corn. It's sweet. It's a little hotter than some of the other ones, but still a good blend again out of Bardstown.
No, that's delicious. But yeah, I think my favorite barrel and my favorite barrel right here.
Yeah, no, it's a good lineup. We're proud of what we're putting out. Some people might see the bottles and have some adverse reaction. Oh, the bottles look so good. The juice isn't so good. But I can assure you, not the case with us. It's a fantastic gifting item for anybody, any bourbon lover. Will be proud to have this on their bar cart.
No, it's fantastic. So what kind of when you do stuff collaborations with businesses and things like I see you have a cardinal on this one. So is this something that you would how does that work?
So it's a new part of our business. Last year we launched with our core SKUs, these three. We added this one in November. So we did about 10,000 bottles. We released 5,000 in November. We're releasing the next 5,000 in May for Memorial Day, given the military ties. This year we're trying to pivot to do a little bit more of the customization. So for about 10 or 12 cases, 6-packs, we'll be able to do some customization for whatever business wants to do whatever they want to do, as long as it's within, regulation. We're not infringing on any rights. We're happy to do some cool custom bottles for people to give and to share, and yeah.
Now, do you ever do any barrel picks with your stuff?
So we have the ability. Yep, we're open to do barrel picks. It's not a piece of the business that we focused on in our first year. But this year, we're going to have some older barrels coming out, and we're absolutely open to doing barrel picks and maybe even doing custom bottles for those barrel picks.
I was just going to say, so for my fans, we do have a barrel pick program that we're starting to do, and I think it would be great to do a barrel pick with you guys and then get our logo on your bottles. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. It's something we can do. You know, if you see any of these that you like, maybe you want to do them different, paint them different, fade it in, fade it out, single barrels, put your logo on the side. We can absolutely do something like that.
All right, you heard it here first, so keep an eye out for the barrel pick with a hand barrel and Jim Hand at the helm. Thank you so much. Don't touch that device. We'll be right back with Delta Dirt's Harvey Williams.
Unleashed Coffee is a farm-to-cup adventure like no other. Step into a world where exceptional flavors, tantalizing aromas, and rich mouthfeel take you on a journey from your kitchen to the picturesque coffee plantations at origin. At Unleashed Coffee, we believe in fostering connections between coffee lovers and the hardworking farmers behind each bean. Join the journey through our coffee subscription program and gain access to our exclusive online community, connecting you to fellow enthusiasts and the producers of your morning brew. To help you extract every nuance of flavor from our beans, take part in our on-demand coffee brewing courses right in the comfort of your own home. If you are seeking B2B coffee solutions that go beyond just beans, our comprehensive wholesale packages cater to the diverse needs of mobile carts, farm stands, restaurants, cafes, retail shelves, and more. Look no further than Unleashed Coffee to quench your thirst for quality coffee. Use coupon code COFFEEBRC at the checkout to receive 10% off your first purchase at unleashedcoffee.com.
Hello.
Hi. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. So, I just found out about your wonderful vodka yesterday. And then while I found out about your vodka, we learned about something very special. Tell us what you got there.
We did. We entered in the competition this year, and we took double gold. Our vodka took double gold in this year's competition. So we are really excited. I mean, just super excited to do that. We've gotten double gold before, but this we've never been to this venue and this competition. So to get that, it's pretty special.
That's very cool. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your company. I see on the bottle here you're in Arkansas.
We are in Arkansas.
And give me a little background. Like, you started off, you lived in Arkansas, you went away to college, you came back, you decided, I want to make vodka.
You got the whole story. Actually, I'll back up a bit further than that. We did come back home, my wife and I, after having had our own careers and wanted to start our own business. And we wanted to have it tied to our farm, our family farm, which dates back to late 1800s with my great-grandfather.
Oh, wow.
Actually, yeah. So my granddad had this idea that he was going to work his way out of the sharecropping system,
okay.
And just like his dad had tried before. And in 1949, my granddad did the amazing. He was able to buy our farm.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so you have a vodka and you have a gin.
We have a vodka and a gin.
Vodka and a gin, and then you have something else coming soon?
Yeah, you're trying to get me to release some secrets, and I will. We have been laying down some barrels for our own version of our bourbon in Arkansas. So we have came up with our own recipe of corn, sweet potatoes, rye, and barley to create our version of an Arkansas bourbon. And when we applied to the to TTB for the formula and the labeling and everything, like, well, it has something in it other than grain, so you can't call it a whiskey. So you've heard of Kentucky bourbon. You've heard of Tennessee whiskey.
Yes.
And we have to have our own category. So we're going to lay out Arkansas brown.
I love that. And then I'm assuming brown because it's a brown spirit.
It's a brown spirit. And when people come to our distillery, they know we've got the vodka release, the gin release, and they always ask, when's the brown coming? When's the brown? So the name kind of naturally fit.
I love that. And then this is kind of a family business on top of just you and your wife. I hear your sons also work.
Yeah. They it's. I never thought that I'd have my sons working with me every day, growing up. And both my sons there are 27 and 31. And one's doing the full operations, the other one's doing most of the social media and marketing. But it's a small business. We all do everything.
I love that. Okay, and then after you do the brown, are you going to do any other expressions or any other types of spirit?
We've been thinking about that. I mean, we're building a brand here, and they're, with the vodka, with the gin, with the Arkansas Brown. We've been thinking about some liqueurs. We're right on the Mississippi River. We've been thinking about a Mississippi mud liqueur, as well as my son has been talking to an Arkansas coffee producer, so maybe do a coffee liqueur. So I think we may do a small line of liqueurs.
That would be very fun. I was just tasting a coffee liqueur around the corner, and those are pretty good.
Yeah, and we make an espresso martini, and it is amazing. So it's all in the vodka, though.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Okay, what else? So tell me I guess that's kind of your 5-year plan. Already sounds a little bit. So when did this company start? What's it called? And why did you name it what you did?
We started in 2018, and we had to actually build out the whole distillery operation and get it from ground up, getting the license, getting everything. And we opened the distillery in April of 21. Right out of the pandemic.
Right out of the pandemic, right there, okay.
Yeah. And we call it Delta Dirt Distillery because we're in the Delta. We're in the Arkansas Delta. We're proud of that space, and we want people to have something to be proud of, as we are. And dirt, these sweet potatoes come right out of the ground. Yeah.
So how many acres do you have, and how many acres on that are the sweet potatoes growing?
Yeah, so my granddad, that farm, that was an 86-acre farm.
Right.
And we're using about 26 acres in this year and that will increase because the first year we didn't need that many, and we're anticipating we're going to need about 80,000 pounds of sweet potatoes this year. So,
wow, that's a lot of sweet potatoes.
It is. So as we grow, we'll grow more in acres of products that we need to grow. Yeah.
And do you sell the sweet potatoes to grocery stores and stuff for actual sweet potato eating use?
We had been. My dad was in the sweet potato business, which is how we ended up there, and he was going commercial. I mean, he was going to Walmart and other commercial places, but all the sweet potatoes I'm growing now is going into vodka.
That is awesome. And then do you put any sweet potatoes in the gin?
No, the gin is corn and wheat based.
Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. And then how many botanicals do you have in there?
5. Clearly, the juniper has to be there. But the two that more prominent is the coriander. We've got some cassia. But the orange peel really gives our gin a really good light citrus area peel.
I love that. And did you bring the gin to the conference this year or just the vodka?
We brought the gin. We didn't enter it in a competition, but we brought it for tasting. So if you drop by the booth, you can taste that gin.
I will be stopping by there very shortly. Thank you so much for being on the show today, and good luck in the rest of the competition. And we're probably going to see you get this award a little later this afternoon with MC Jonathan Pogash from the Cocktail Guru coming up this afternoon.
I love it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Like what you've seen on BRC? Want to see more, experience more, and maybe even taste more? Then head over to our Ko-fi site and become a member of the Barrel Room Parlor. By choosing the copper level membership, you'll have exclusive access to videos related to topics discussed on the podcast and blog posts for members only. As an amber member level, you'll enjoy everything from our copper level as well as various spin-off series including The Cutting Room Floor and Kindred Spirits. In addition, the amber membership includes exclusive discounts to live in-person events. To join, visit www.barrelroomchronicles.com and click on Become a Member in the navigation bar. Or go straight to our Ko-fi site at ko-fi.com/BRC and click on the membership link. Once you've joined, you'll have access to everything your chosen level has to offer. You'll even be able to participate with the show by commenting on videos and other posts. Don't wait. Sign up today for exclusive content and event discounts in the Barrel Room Parlor. That does it for today's show. To read notes on this episode or learn more about our guests, please visit barrelroomchronicles.com. Want to interact with the show or have questions for our guests? Then ask them on our socials or send us an email. Or better yet, leave us a voicemail on our website. If you like what you heard, please rate and subscribe to the podcast. If you really liked it and you want to show your support, Buy us a whiskey through our Ko-fi site at ko-fi.com/BRC, or become an exclusive member of the Barrel Room Parlor. If you work in the whiskey or spirits industry, or just have a deep passion for whiskey and want to share your spirits journey, register to be a guest through our website. Last but not least, please enjoy your spirits responsibly. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, Solangeava.
Barrel Room Chronicles is a production of First Reel Entertainment and is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.